Run.
Well, greetings everyone, and welcome to another episode of On the Run from Han Casino Resort in Clark in the Philippines. And you nearly didn't get an On the Run on the today because we've had terrible technical problems. I sat down at 2 o'clock this afternoon on Thursday. You'll be seeing this on Friday. And was all ready to go to record on the run, and the screen on my laptop died. And the next 4, 5, 6 hours was taken up with phone calls to Apple and trips to the local repair shop and you name it. And it's all a disaster. Anyway, you don't need to hear about my stories. These are the ups and downs of being on the run, but managed to find a solution using my phone. So I apologize for the poor quality of the video and the audio today, but it's the best we can do. So let's get into the news of the week. And I'm going to do, and you'll see me looking up rather than looking to the right, because I've got it above the screen here. My list of things to go through. So the first one is IAG was announced lead media partner and the conference organizer for both G2E events in Macau and in Singapore. Singapore May 30, May 31 and June 1 at Marina Bay Sands. And then Macau is July, oh, don't quote me on this. I think it's 11, 12, 13, or maybe 12, 13, 14. Anyway, it's the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the Venetian at Macau, and we'll be organising the conference for both G2E events and other stuff as well. So if you want to contact us about that, let us know. Instead of starting with Macau, I'm going to start with a very interesting piece of news from Japan. Yes, back to Japan. So we had some interesting reports on Wednesday, Thursday. Kyoto News came out and said, oh, something's happening in Japan. The government might announce it. But then it turns out maybe that's not true, but then it turns out maybe it is. So we don't really know. There is a meeting tomorrow, as in Friday, as in today for you, of the Ministry of Infrastructure, Lands and Transport, or whatever it is, that's going to make the decision, and they may make an announcement. There is some rumor going on. Then again, they may not as well. There is some of our sources have said, no, this isn't really true. It isn't really going to happen. So we don't know. So let's see what happens with Japan. But I think if MGM, if they do announce Osaka, obviously that'll be MGM Oryx consortium, and I think that they have a reasonable chance of getting their project through. Nagasaki, a lot more problematic. I don't want to go into a great amount of detail about that because we've done a lot of reporting on that. And if you want to know about all the shenanigans and allegations around Nagasaki, just go to IAG's website, asgam.com, and search for the word Nagasaki, and you'll find it all. All right, let's move on. What's next? Excuse me. Oh, right, let's do Macau. So MGTO says 5 million visitor arrivals in the first quarter. So 5 million, 500,000, 50,000, 55,000. That's about 55,000 a day. Sounds about right. Roughly half of the 108,000 per day in 2019 average. So, but the quality of players seems to be a little bit better. So, yeah, that's great for Macau. A lot better than the 15,000 per day we were averaging through the pandemic. So that's good news. And also, we got another statistic: 481,000 visitors over the recent 6-day holiday period for Ching Ming and Easter. So 481,000 divided by 6 is obviously 80,000. So 80,000 a day, nearly up to that 108,000. But 108,000 was an average through 2019. 80,000 is a holiday period. So, you know, it's not there yet, but it's much, much better than it was. And the quality of play is apparently much, much better. So that's great news for Macau. TurboJET have announced they're going to increase their excuse me, sailings from Hong Kong to Macau, or between Hong Kong and Macau, from the current 50 a day to 60 a day, which is about half of what it was before, pre-pandemic. Basically, they're not really doing night sailings yet, but they're on the way, and we're talking to TurboJET. We've got some sources at TurboJET, some contacts who are keeping us advised of what's going on there. So visitation from Hong Kong and traveling backwards and forwards between Hong Kong and Macau is starting to normalize. Now, what else have we got? JP Morgan came out and said that Q2 has started off pretty much in the same vein as Q1. They're saying 400 million mop a day is the number. Yep, it is. So 400 million mop a day, so that's around 50 million US a day GGR. So 400 million, 4 billion, 12 billion, so about 12 billion, which is 1.5 billion US per month, which is 18 billion per year, which is exactly what I said last week. I think it will be. JP Morgan thinks it can go up. I'm not so sure. Maybe. Let's see. Macau Studio City, yes, last week, Lawrence Ho was at Macau Studio City, and they launched their phase 2 with their indoor water park, with an outdoor water park to be launched from the 28th of April. And what else can I say about it? Oh, the Epic Tower, new hotel tower called the Epic Tower. And yeah, it's great to see something new opening in Macau. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that as the year unfolds. On the sidelines of that event, Lawrence Ho told IAG's reporter at the event, that they have 3 foreigner gaming zones open, Melco, 2 at City of Dreams and 1 at Studio City. Don't know how I feel about these foreigner gaming zones. I mean, the government wants to promote this. Currently, it's 2.2% of visitation coming from outside of Greater China. Big cultural differences between the Chinese and so-called foreigners. I hear most of the foreigners in these foreign gaming zones are Malaysians, Indonesians, maybe some Koreans. They're mostly from Asia. And, you know, the government has said that they will offer tax breaks to the concessionaires of up to 5%. No change in the special gaming tax, but the 5% in other charges for CSR, and there's 2 funds, one is 2%, one is 3%, that they will reduce that. I don't think they've said how much they'll reduce it by. So it's up to 5%, could be 1%, don't know. And there's effectively a table cap again. There's 6,000 tables now in Macau. Now, we're not utilizing all those tables at the moment, so it's not a problem. But later on, maybe tables will become an issue again like they were 5 years ago, and utilizing tables in these foreigner gaming zones might not make sense mathematically. So to the operators, let's see how all that plays out. What else have we got? Let's go over to the Philippines. So we've still got this POGO debate going on in the Philippines. Senator Beto de la Rosa came out this week and said he wanted to see the POGOs move to a controlled zone as a stepping stone to shutting them down. It's Senator Sherwin, or they just call him Win Gatchalian, is the one that's really coming out and saying he wants leading the charge to shut the POGOs down. His family actually owns a casino, by the way, so it's a little bit like Sheldon Adelson used to say how bad iGaming was, but he had gaming, but it was bricks and mortar gaming, similar sort of situation. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are arguments, particularly in the Philippines, to say that the POGO industry has not been good for the Philippines, and there's arguments to say it has been good for the Philippines. So it's a genuine debate. Yeah, so Senator De La Rosa has come out and said that. On the other side of the coin, Joey Salceda, I think it is, yes, Joey Salceda, the chairman of the House Committee, the Ways and Means Committee, has said, no, this is crazy. Don't shut the POGOs down. They provide US 145 million a year in tax revenue to us, but more importantly than that, they provide 3.5 billion US a year in other economic benefits, value of real estate, employing people, you name it. So there's two sides to this coin. The argument rages on, but the only person who really matters is the president and perhaps PADCOR as an organisation. And PADCOR is saying POGOs are here to stay, albeit under greater watchfulness from us. So I think POGOs are, as I've said before, are here to stay. What else we got? Over to Singapore, Changi Airport is now back in the world's top 10 where it belongs, which is great. It's the only one in Asia. Hong Kong, HKIA got a long way to go to catch up. But Singapore's Changi Airport is now in the top 10 of the world again, as it normally was pre-pandemic, so that's great news. And they welcomed 2.9 million visitor arrivals in the first quarter of 2023. And the authorities in Singapore are saying they're shooting for 12 to 14 million arrivals for the year. So that's 13 million divided by 4 is 3.25. They got 2.9, very reasonable, very reasonable. So they could be getting somewhere around 13 million visitors for the year, and Singapore is booming. And avid viewers of On the Run will know a few weeks ago I was in Singapore. I visited both Resorts World Sentosa and Marina Bay Sands, and the casinos were busy, as they are everywhere. Including here up at Clark, Home Casino Resort, very busy. The entertainment city, there you go, the lights just dropped out on my, bear with me for a second while I just fix something here. There we go, the light's back from the TV screen. That's my lighting setup, a big bright light on the TV screen. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, how busy it was around and about. Asia was very, very busy at the entertainment city resorts as well as up here in Clark. Well, that is about it for now. I'll be up here for a few more days. Early next week, I'll be heading down to Manila for MAD, for the very first Manila After Dark, which of course will be at Akata Manila on Thursday, April 20. We've got a good RSVP list for that, but there's still more room. So if you have received an invitation, it's an invitation-only event. If you have received an invitation and you haven't RSVP'd yet, please do. You need to do that to get the QR code on your phone to be admitted to the event. And we'll see you there on Thursday of next week, April the 20th. And then I'll be on a plane over to Hong Kong and over to Macau for April the 25th at Sofitel. Our great friends at Sofitel are hosting us for the second time, Macau After Dark, and we're looking forward to that on Tuesday, April 25. See you there if you're there at Macau After Dark. And that is it for now. So it's Clark, Manila, Hong Kong, and then back home to Macau. And that will be the end of this big long run that started in early January. That's it for this week. Hopefully I'll have better equipment next week, and bye for now. See ya.
Run.